Well, it's that time of year. It's springtime, where the weather begins to warm up for most of the northern hemisphere. And people venture out to plan vacations, to go camping, and sometimes even people venture out to go full-time on the road in their RV or in their vehicle. And so it just brings to mind the powerful difference of weather. The climate creates an environment where people change their behavior. They go from spending most of their time inside to most of their time outside. Thus it was a big reason for me repositioning my life in Florida, because I wanted a place where there's relatively warm weather all year round so I can be outdoors most of the year. See, most of the country, and I'm speaking mainly about America, but again, anywhere in the kind of northern hemisphere in the season of spring and summer and fall, when you get to the part of the year where the weather allows people to venture out and to travel more and to be outdoors more, there's more activity, there's more excitement, and people are very fired up in spring because the flowers are blooming, they're planning their vacation, their camping trip, and what an exciting time, And so, there's a lot to be said for how weather impacts our quality of life. And, there's a lot to be said for harnessing that inspiration, that excitement of good weather. Now, you can do it a couple ways. I mean, you could just kind of get through winter if you want to live in a place where there's 4 seasons, and you can just kind of like bunker down, hibernate, and plan to take trips once the weather gets warm enough. You could be a snowbird. You can travel to the southern part of the country where hopefully it's warmer for you in the winter months, and then you can migrate up north in the summer months and back down south in the winter months. This back and forth, if your personal circumstance allows, it's called snowbirding. And the reason, again, you snowbird is to basically go after having good temperature all year round. And then, of course, you can move to one of these areas in the country or in the world where there is warm weather all year round, pretty much. Florida has the warmest weather in the winter in the entire United States, even more than Hawaii or Arizona. And that's why many people come to Florida in the winter. But it's also true that many people leave Florida in the summer because it's very hot and humid tropical environment. So, but I think about, when spring comes and this excitement that people get and they plan their trips, and the impact of weather and how it changes human behavior. It changes animal behavior, right? Animals, mammals, they hibernate in the winter, come out in the spring, etc. So, it's an interesting thing. I think when I looked it up, why do people move? The number one reason was weather. A lot of times people don't move because leaving family is not easy. And so you kind of just take vacations and you live close to your family or your friends, etc. So it's very hard to move away from everyone you know. But I figured I would share on that, spring and the excitement and then the reason for the excitement. And, looking forward to the next 4 months or so where the weather gets warm enough for many people to go to the beach for the first time this year, where people go on their camping trip for the first time this year. And, and the way the human psyche, kind of like changes to the weather patterns of the seasons. And for some people, it's such a strong thing that, like me, you try to position yourself in an area, whether you're a snowbird or a full-time resident of a southern state such as Florida, because you want warm weather all year round. Like I've talked to a lot of people that live in Florida, and a lot of them say, look, it's not that Florida's perfect, even though it's, to me, one of the best states. you know, everything has its pros and its cons. But they say, look, the sales pitch is, again, it's the warmest state in the winter. So if you don't like cold weather, you come to Florida and you deal with the humidity, you deal with the bugs. In the summer, you deal with the hurricanes. In the fall, because, you know, your passion for good year weather for 90% of the year, you'll deal with the other, you know, negative parts, the other negative 10%. Or, you know, you look at being a snowbird. You know, the only problem with being a snowbird is that you're pretty much guaranteeing that you're going to be in crowded areas all year round. Like if you follow the crowd to Florida or a warm vacation spot in the winter, you're going to be around crowds because a lot of people do the same thing. If you migrate back up north in the summer, you're going to be around crowds. A lot of people do the same thing. You know, it's like one thing that kind of is keeping me away from going up north this summer is because I know how crowded the Jersey Shore gets. And that doesn't excite me to be around that many people, you know, where you can't really enjoy yourself. And, you know, certainly you could try to find areas that aren't that populated, and that's certainly possible. You know, but, you know, for the most part, it even gets just as hot in the height of the summer, the end of July, August, in New Jersey than it does in Florida. So it's like, you know, even with the humidity sometimes, it just doesn't stay that way for a long period of time like Florida does. But I think, you know, as we're into spring here, we get ready to go into summer, I think I want to make this video to share with you the impact of weather, how it changes our life, changes our plans, changes our excitement, and, you know, how you can approach it. You can just, you know, suffer through the winter, hibernate, whatever, and plan for your spring and summertime trips. You could be a snowbird, okay, and travel south in the winter, north in the summer, deal with the traffic. Or you could be a full-time Floridian, okay? 90% of the year is good weather, 10% you got to deal with some hurricanes, high humidity, and, you know, bugs. So, you know, it's like you got to pick, you know, how you want to kind of navigate around the orbiting of Earth, you know, Earth orbiting the sun, or, you know, rotating around you. That's all the Earth is doing. It's constantly moving, right? So, you know, for whatever it's worth, and I think it has value because I think weather plays, again, a big part in your quality of life. So I wanted to talk it out for you. Hopefully this video helps you in some way. If it does, click the thumbs up. Thank you to all those who clicked the join button. Thank you to all the members of the channel. Appreciation, gratitude towards you. You can check out my playlist about moving to Florida, the nomad life, life lessons, watch my live streams, etc. Thank you to everyone. Keep pushing forward. Have a great day, great summer, great spring, all that stuff. And I'll see you in the next video, okay? Peace.